On today's IRS tax refund update, we will take a look at the latest developments, including the next round of tax refunds scheduled for release this week. And from there, we will recap some of the reasons behind those ongoing tax refund delays, along with the 810 Refund Freeze code and several of those notices the IRS continues to send out to those impacted by ongoing delays. Starting off with the latest, as the next round of tax refunds is scheduled for release on October 2nd, as confirmed by the tax transcript seen here. Now, for those who are part of these latest refund batch who have selected to receive their refund via direct deposit, do allow up until 5 additional days from the posted date before initiating a payment trace with the IRS, while those who have selected to receive a paper check must wait 30 days before initiating that payment trace. And as an additional reminder, not all refund status results will update, so it is important to check your tax transcripts for the most up-to-date information. Moving on to some of the top reasons behind those tax refund delays that have impacted tax filers, including many of our viewers over the course of the last several months, include the most commonly reported issue is that of an entry error, or what the IRS considers a math error, where the tax filer has accidentally entered a wrong amount on a tax return. Now that is such a common occurrence that just 2 years ago, over 17 million tax returns contained some sort of error that needed additional action by the IRS to be resolved. And it could be something as simple as just one single digit being off on the tax return in question. An additional review of the tax return is another commonly reported cause of refund delays and can be identified by the 570 tax transcript code. Now, the additional review could be as a result of the tax return being randomly selected for a wage and or withholding review, which has impacted many, or it could be as a result of a discrepancy on the return, such as wages not matching or a credit being claimed. Moving on to another cause which has caused delays not only this year, but in previous years, is that the tax filer's employer's tax information has not been processed yet, which is important as the IRS matches what you have entered on your tax return and compared it to what your employer has reported for accuracy. Now, oftentimes, those impacted by this receive a 60-day notice from the IRS stating they are waiting on your tax information to be available on their computer system. ID verification continues to cause significant delays and specifically impacted those who filed their tax early this year. And while the IRS is supposed to send out notices to those impacted by this issue, notifying them to complete ID verification, they are not always received, which leads to many not being aware. This is the cause of their delay in the first place. And as we have seen in previous years, until tax filers take further action, discovering the course of the problem, it could take additional months to resolve. And finally, those who file paper tax returns experience some of the longest wait times, as an IRS employee must manually enter each digit of the tax return into the computer system. Another commonly reported code is the 810 Refund Freeze code, which means your refund has been frozen pending further action. And as a result, the freeze could be due to a variety of reasons, from the tax credits being claimed, such as the Earned Income Tax Credit or solar credits, to also ID verification, and in particular self-employment income being reported, which we have seen an increase of in the last several years, as well as the return falling under the frivolous return program, which is as a result of the IRS believing the return in question may be fraudulently filed. For those continuing to experience delays, it is likely you have or will receive one of the notices seen here, including Letter 2644C, which is informing taxpayers the IRS needs an additional 60 days to process the tax return in question. Now, those who are impacted by the previously discussed problem of the IRS needing to process your employer's wage information are likely to receive this notice, indicating the IRS is waiting on your tax account information to become available on their computer system. Meanwhile, a notice in the CP05 series is another commonly reported notice. And if you receive the CP05A letter, do immediately respond to the notice and provide any documentation the IRS is requesting, so that processing can continue on your tax return. And finally, the CP75 notice, which is a request by the IRS to submit documentation around claim dependents for those claiming tax credits, such as the Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Tax Credit. Let us know in the comment section below about your ongoing tax issue. In the meantime, we will keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.